You've unlocked something deep within me, something I wasn't ready to face. Now, every thought feels like an uncontrollable storm, and I can't seem to find the peace I once had. There's a fire inside, one that burns with intensity and uncertainty, and it terrifies me as much as it compels me. Something in you stirred up a raw emotion I didn't know I was capable of. I feel as though I'm walking a fine line, balancing between desire and chaos, and I am unsure how much longer I can keep my footing. You've triggered a side of me that I never wanted to acknowledge. My emotions are swirling around in a way I can't control, pulling me deeper into a place I thought I had buried long ago. I'm left questioning my thoughts, my actions, and my very sense of self. I didn't realize how easily you could awaken the dormant feelings within me, those parts of me I've tried so hard to lock away. Now, all I can feel is this strange mixture of fear and longing, an unfamiliar force pushing me in ways I can't predict. There's a storm inside of me, one that you unknowingly set in motion. It's a blend of confusion, anger, and something else that feels like longing. The more I try to escape it, the stronger it pulls me back. I can't tell if I'm losing control or finding something new. In the silence of my mind, you've triggered something that has been waiting for years to come alive. It's a restless force, one that refuses to stay hidden any longer, and it's changing the way I see myself and the way I see you. You've awakened something in me that was buried under years of fear and self-doubt. The walls I built to protect myself feel like they're crumbling, and I'm left standing here, vulnerable and unsure of how to move forward. Your presence has unleashed a flood of emotions, feelings I thought were long gone. It's as though you've pulled the thread that holds everything together, and now I'm unraveling, caught between who I was and who I might become. I didn't realize how much I had buried inside me until you triggered it all. Now, every thought feels like a battle between who I am and who I've been trying to escape. It's exhausting, but it's also liberating in a way I don't fully understand. You've set something in motion within me, something wild and untamed. I can't quite put my finger on it, but I know it's something powerful, something that will change everything once I learn to navigate it. There's a strange energy inside me, one you've ignited without even realizing it. It's pulling me in directions I'm afraid to go, but it's also impossible to ignore. I'm torn between embracing it and pushing it away. You've triggered something dangerous, but it's not the kind of danger that threatens my safety. It's the kind of danger that threatens my comfort, my understanding of who I am, and what I thought I could control. I can feel it building inside me, this power that you've unknowingly unlocked. It's terrifying because I don't know where it will lead me, but there's something thrilling about it too, something that makes me want to follow it wherever it goes. The feeling you've stirred up within me is like an itch I can't scratch. It's uncomfortable, unpredictable, and yet it's pulling me toward something deeper, something more real than anything I've ever known. You've triggered a force within me that has been dormant for so long. Now that it's awake, I'm left grappling with emotions I don't know how to handle. But there's also this strange sense of clarity, like I'm finally seeing myself for who I truly am. There's a shift happening inside me, something I can't explain, but you've ignited it. It's as if every part of me is being pulled in new directions, and I'm not sure where it will take me, but I can't stop it. I don't know if I want to. You've triggered something in me that's unraveling everything I thought I knew about myself. The thoughts are too loud, the emotions too strong, and yet there's something about it that feels like it's pushing me toward a version of myself I've been avoiding. I didn't ask for this, didn't want it, but you've stirred something inside of me that's refusing to be ignored. Now I'm caught in this whirlwind of emotions that make no sense, and yet somehow they feel more real than anything I've ever felt. You've brought something to the surface in me that I can't deny. It's a force I never anticipated, and now it's taking over, making my thoughts chaotic, my feelings intense, and my actions unpredictable. I'm both terrified and exhilarated by it. The moment you walked into my life, you triggered something deep within me. It's a force I can't control, one that's reshaping the way I think, feel, and act. I don't know if it's good or bad yet, but it's powerful, and it's impossible to ignore. There's something about you that has triggered a dormant part of me, a part that's full of desire, confusion, and uncertainty. It's as though I'm a stranger to myself now, trying to figure out what this all means and where it will take me. In the quiet corners of my mind, you've sparked a fire I can't put out. It's not something I expected, nor is it something I feel prepared to handle, but it's here now, and it's changing everything. You've triggered something within me that feels both dangerous and exhilarating. It's a whirlwind of emotions, of desires and fears, all mixed together in a way that leaves me questioning everything I thought I knew about myself. You've unlocked a part of me that I didn't even know had existed, and now everything feels different. My thoughts, my feelings, my actions, all of it is shifting, like I'm becoming someone new, or perhaps finally revealing who I've always been. There's a power in me now, one that you've triggered, and it's more overwhelming than I could have ever imagined. I can't control it, but there's something strangely freeing about surrendering to it. I'm caught between fear and excitement, and I don't know which one will win. The emotions you've stirred in me are like waves crashing against the shore, relentless, impossible to ignore, and though they threaten to overwhelm me, there's something beautiful about the way they wash over me, revealing pieces of myself I didn't know were there. You've opened a door within me, and now I'm standing on the threshold, unsure of whether to step forward or retreat. What lies beyond that door feels dangerous, but it also feels like something I need to explore. I never thought I could feel this way, but you've triggered something inside me that's impossible to ignore. It's a mix of passion, fear, and a deep yearning that's hard to define. And now I'm lost in it, unsure of what to do next. You've unearthed something buried deep within me, something that's both exhilarating and terrifying. My thoughts are tangled, my heart racing with emotions I'm struggling to understand. All I know is that everything has changed. Something in me has awakened because of you, and it's like trying to tame a storm. It's chaotic, unpredictable, and yet there's a strange pull to it, a sense of inevitability that I can't shake. I don't know how to handle it, but I can't turn away. You've sparked a transformation in me that's been long overdue. It's uncomfortable, like shedding an old skin that no longer fits, but it's also freeing, like stepping into a new version of myself that I never knew existed. I didn't think I could feel this much, but you've awakened something inside me that I can't ignore. It's a storm of emotions, desires, and fears, all tangled together in a way that leaves me breathless and uncertain. You've triggered something inside me that's been hiding for far too long. It's like opening a door to a part of myself I didn't know I was capable of embracing. Now I'm standing on the edge, unsure of what will come next, but feeling more alive than ever before. There's a force inside me, something you've awakened, and I'm struggling to understand it. It's both terrifying and beautiful, a wild energy that I can't quite control, but one that I can't ignore either. You've triggered something dangerous, but it's not a danger to my safety. It's a danger to the walls I've built around my heart, the comfort I've found in my solitude. And I'm not sure if I'm ready to face it, but there's a part of me that's begging to see what lies beyond. Something has shifted inside me since you came into my life. It's like you've unlocked a door to emotions I didn't know I was capable of feeling, and now I can't turn back. It's overwhelming, yet there's something beautiful about it, something I can't deny. The force you've triggered in me is both exhilarating and frightening. It's as though I'm standing at the edge of a cliff, not knowing whether to jump or retreat. But part of me is urging me to leap, to embrace the unknown. You've set something in motion within me, and now I'm trying to figure out what to do with it. It's both thrilling and terrifying to feel so deeply, to be so consumed by a force that is completely outside of my control. You've triggered something inside me that I can't ignore, something that feels bigger than both of us. It's pulling me in a way I can't explain, urging me to follow it, even though I'm unsure of where it will lead. The emotions you've stirred up in me feel like a tidal wave, intense, unstoppable, and overwhelming. But there's also a beauty in the chaos, a sense that maybe this is the beginning of something I wasn't expecting but desperately need.